Okay, good morning. We'll call the meeting to order. It was properly posted February 13th. And for something unusual this morning, we're going to have our County Clerk, David B. Hooten, do our musical prayer and Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Chairman, I might say that David had asked Leonard and I to join him up there, but we declined.
Yeah. And we appreciate that.
Good job, David.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of February 8th?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
5 through 11 are the consent docket items.
Move the consent.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
District 1 has item 12.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's the wrong thing here. Oh, this is my reappointment of Mr. John Pettis Sr. to the home and from the HOP of reappointing him to the Oklahoma County Home Finance Authority.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 13 is just to receive the State Auditor Inspector report concerning the County Clerk turnover audit.
Move that.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
District 3 has items 14 through 17.
Item 14, Mr. Chairman, is our annual agreement with the Jones Public School District for the use of their agricultural facility for the Oklahoma County Free Fair and Livestock Show, which begins February 23rd, ends February 25th. We'll also be having one with the State Fairgrounds again for the Spring Livestock Show as well, but it's not ready yet, so that'll probably be on next week's agenda. So I'd move item 14.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Item 15 is our agreement, or would be our agreement with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation regarding our flood control bridge that we plan to build out on MacArthur. We had a meeting with Shannon Shepard this week, Mr. Trumbo and I, and we haven't got this necessarily nailed down quite yet, but I'd like to ask Mr. Trumbo to bring us up to speed on kind of where we stand on that particular project, because we're right at the point of letting it is ready.
Well, the SERB program has changed since District 1 and District 2 had completed their project. Willie built a bridge across the Canadian River, one of the first ones in the state.
Right.
Brian continued the widening of Harrow Road south of Harrow heading towards I-40. There's only a mile-and-a-half gap left in that. It was a program of extraordinary projects that counties couldn't otherwise afford, and the change now is we only get a 1/77th share of the money, which is no logic or common sense. Not sure who changed the program, but
What legislature?
No, it was not.
Is that Carol's thing? Is that Carol's thing? Over at
Fine.
Oh, no. Well, no. That's CED 5. No, this is a legislative issue.
But anyway, Commissioner Vaughn's trying to do his project, and all of a sudden, you know, our funds are limited, and we can't get enough money together to let this thing. The SERB program has always been 100% funded out of that fund with no local match. Commissioner Vaughn has offered up $2 million of a local match, which would be the first time in the program history, and they want $3 million. So that's the negotiation that's going on. People have noticed this change as a problem, and there's about 4 bills in the legislature right now to change the program, maybe back to something functional. So I'd encourage all of you to follow that legislation, pick a legislation and get behind it that first and foremost distributes the money by a formula. 1/77th is not a suitable formula.
That's not enough for anybody to do much of anything with, and this was intended for extraordinary projects like the ones that we've done with it. Anyway, I'd move to strike item 15 as being not ready to finalize.
But you would have to put up the $2 million without reimbursement.
Yeah, but the $2 million is coming from, that's what we have left in our account, having spent $1 million basically in the bond money that we got in 2008. We've spent $1 million getting this road to shovel ready.
Yeah.
You know, getting design and build, and then buying the right of way, and then doing all the environmental and all of those things. We've spent the money getting it ready to build, and what we have left in the account is $2 million. And again, nobody's been contributing construction funds to these projects, and we are offering $2 million on this project, and we think it's going to be coming in at a good price. But we're going to have to kind of hold their feet to the fire a little bit. So, anyway, we hope that matures.
If we lose the negotiation and we have to put up $3 million, he's going to be looking for an extra $1 million, just FYI.
Oh, he's not going to lose the negotiation.
I'm going to take you with me next time.
All right.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to strike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you for letting me present that and kind of bring you up to speed on it. Item 16 is to utilize the state contract for the use and purpose of doing our exterior lighting. This is the project that we talked about 2 weeks ago, and we have an agenda item on our PBA agenda today to actually transfer $600,000 to a fund that then tomorrow we will, at budget board, put all those funds into place. And that will take care of all the rest of the TIF projects that we have approved. And so it guarantees that we're going to get all of our TIF projects done, and then once those are finished, it will enhance and speed those projects along. And then once they're finished, then we get reimbursed by the city. So it'll move the process quicker, not only from the project standpoint, but also from the return of the funds.
I'm glad we found the money.
Yeah. So I'd move item 16.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
17.
Item 17 is an agreement with the Deer Creek Public Schools. We're going to be doing some cleaning out of some drainage channels on the west side of the tennis courts. It's a relatively small $15,000 agreement, but nevertheless needs to come to the board. But it's just some of the routine maintenance that we do out on the Deer Creek campus. Move item 17.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank
County
you.
Clerk has item 18. Mr. Hooten, would you?
My understanding is this is to have money so that we can use credit card services and have the funds needed for credit card machines for our office so that we can accept credit cards.
You might, just since you shared with me yesterday what you have planned, I think that's really innovative, and I think you'd do well to share with the rest of the board and the audience and the audience watching on
all right.
Cable here.
What we have in mind is that we are going to very soon have relaunching our website, which will have, give the taxpayers more access to their records. We have some controls in place that are going to help us to make sure there's no pirating, but they can go online, get what they need, get what they want, pay for it at a rate that is lower than the state's rate. The state's rate is, I think, 3%. We negotiated this at 1.9%. So it's a great deal for us. And this would help us to generate more business for the general fund, in that the general fund overall needs more money. And so we're doing this in knowing that our stabilization bill that we have in the House right now, that hopefully will be read on the floor next week, we'll move forward, and that will help us so that people know what they're getting into before they come down here. We're trying to make it so that it's more accessible for people that want to do genealogy or any kind of work can do it, access it without coming down here and paying $10 to park and $3.50 to use an ATM. So we're just trying to make it more streamlined. It will also be voice activated, where people can speak to the computer or their cell phone, get the data they want, pay for it, and then we will, until we have QR codes in place, we will then courier the official documents out or send them overnight. And I think it will be a win-win situation, and it should hopefully projected income increase for the general fund with the bill stabilization and our access to the records. We're looking at an increase of $1.2 million next year, and that's kind of the way I think, the only thing I can see as a private businessman of how we can kind of dig out of our situation. So if there's any questions or anything, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you all.
We like it. Move it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. District Attorney has number 19. This is to approve an expert consulting services with OSS Law Enforcement Advisors.
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 20 and 21 come from Health and Safety. Dan?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Give you an update on the flood and the remediation and other issues going on. We had an adjuster from Zurich, our insurance company, here last week, along with a couple of other people, specialists. One of them was building and mechanical. The other was an elevator specialist, who walked through the building, looked at the problems, looked at the issues that we had, and were advising our insurance adjuster. We're going to move forward with that. Zurich wants to advance us $150,000 toward the claim, which I just received the check, and would like your authorization to receive that money. We have an item set up for the budget board tomorrow to set up a line item in capital projects for this project, and also to appropriate the funds into that line item. We have air quality testing that will be beginning today. People coming in from New Orleans to do that. I sent a note out to the elected officials and deputies yesterday to let you know about that. And they'll be testing for air quality issues as a result of the flood. That's kind of all I've got, Keith.
Just an update. There was some communication and perhaps some disagreements as to how badly our elevators were affected and whether or not we'll experience any latent problems in the future. They're trying to come to terms right now as to what should be done so that we don't have those kinds of problems arise. Our service provider, Kone, and the insurance adjuster as representative are working together towards that end.
Move the item.
I will second, but I'm just curious, Dan, on one quick question. I'm a little bit surprised by the amount of this claim at 150. Do you anticipate it being that much or over that?
I anticipate it'll be more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
I just didn't see that. I guess.
You know, our first estimate on elevators, besides the immediate repairs, just to get them up and running, additional repairs was $659,000.
Oh my gracious.
We don't anticipate now that will go that high, but this could easily be $300,000-$400,000 claim, depending on how much work needs to be done on the elevators.
Okay.
Six of the elevators all 5 in this building and the jail elevator were all affected.
Really? All right, thank you.
I stated this for the emergency meeting we had, but I'm underscoring that I haven't forgotten that I hope we find out who is responsible for this, because this is most likely something that was preventable, and this is going to be very expensive.
One other issue, the chiller that froze and caused the problems, it's covered by insurance as well. So the repair and or replacement is needed, will be part of the claim.
All right, well, I already second item 20.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. I think her motion was for both items. This was your second for just item 20.
Well, it was the second to whatever was on the board, but I thought it was item 20, so I'll go ahead and second item 21 as well.
All right.
I'll move it.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your explanation. IT has item 22, and Dane, do you want to speak to this?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What we're asking for is just an amendment to a previous agreement to add a second OMES circuit out at the election board and D2 offices.
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Items 23 through 27 are from social services, and these are the community service grants for the utility assistance.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, unless Christie do you have anything to add? Okay. I'll move.
These are the last of them.
I'll move all of them.
And I will second.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Mr. Treasurer, you have item 28. Care to elaborate?
My inability to jump right up has nothing to do with age.
Lack of interest.
Commissioners, as I'm sure you recall, because it was a very happy day for us here in Oklahoma County in May of 2008, the citizens of Oklahoma County voted a general obligation bond that allowed us actually to issue up to $71.5 million in bonds. We ended up issuing 61.5, and the majority of which was used to purchase the General Motors plant. And then with that were also some local projects. We were very pleased at the time that that bond issue was passed and subsequently the bonds were sold to get a 4% fixed rate. Well, it's even better today. What's happened is there is a possibility for us to get back into the market to refund and refinance the remainder of this particular bond issue. Again, I'll mention that 4% is what we had sold the bonds for. We've got a chance to get into the market and potentially get that interest rate lowered to approximately a 1.48% or somewhere in that area. And most important out of that is it does not extend the length of the bond issue. What it does is it would save the taxpayers, who are the ones paying for this entire bond issue, it would save them approximately $1.2 million. What we're trying to do, and our intention with this bond issue, with this particular agenda item today, is to request your formal approval for us, the County Treasurer's Office, to begin to work with and not negotiate, but anyway, work with and gather the information as to what it would take to make this happen. Obviously, this would be a process that would involve most particularly the District Attorney's Office, and anything that would be done would be put together then in an ultimate package that would come back to this board for the final approval. So that we're just asking for opportunity to go out and start working on some negotiations, etc.
I noticed that Ms. Yellen yesterday announced they were going to start raising interest rates again at the Fed, so this is very timely, and we hope we can get it done quickly.
We would like to move. We have been told, and this is never for sure, but hopefully within 30 to 45 days, just depending how everything comes together. You're absolutely correct, Commissioner. That's one of the things that's driving this with all due haste. Obviously not so fast that we make a mistake, but certainly with all due haste. Because that 1.48 or even 1.5, something like that, unheard of. Most important, again, let me emphasize, depending upon what the final rate is, we're looking at something like a $1.2 million in interest savings that would otherwise be passed along and be collected from the taxpayers of Oklahoma County.
Move the item.
I don't think you need to sell us. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Butch.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Item 29 are our claims.
Move the claim.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I think Jane has an addition.
I have one item I need to add to the blanket report. The requisition number is 11703978, deposited tomorrow for $7,000, and that's part of the community support grant.
Move it with the addition.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
31, any citizens to be heard? Hearing none, before we acknowledge Commissioner Johnson for Commissioner comments, congratulations are in order for receiving the Kate, is it Barnard?
Kate Bernard.
Bernard, okay, award, and so very deserving. I did not actually know that you're actually profiled in the Oklahoma History Center, so I learned that in that bio. So I knew you were at Langston, but I guess also at the History Center, so.
I was there first.
Were you?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Isn't that an honor?
Mm-hmm.
What an honor. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. You know, being off these last couple of weeks, I got a chance to see a lot of television, which is something I don't do. But I watched the Nature Channel, and I watched antelopes. And I saw how antelopes, when they get mad at each other, they butt heads. So last Saturday night, I saw Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook butt heads. Most amazing thing is, it hurts my heart so much because they're both wonderful people and good kids, and they used to be so close. And I know how it is to lose a very, very, very close friend behind something mundane. So I hope they tighten that up. Maybe they'll get a chance to do that in the All-Star trip. I appreciate Russell so much, Russell and Steve and what's his name? What's the little boy's name? Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. They just work so hard, and I just hated to see KD come and do that to us. I don't like that. But anyway, the die has been cast. And so, how about the Thunder? Now, let me tell you, I am so glad to be in here looking at y'all this morning. This is the first day I felt good in 3 weeks. And I am so happy to be here today. Even you are pretty today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. District 3.
Are you looking at him or me?
Not you.
Then I feel free to point out that it's appropriate that you were in the History Center since you've experienced so much of it.
Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here you go.
I got a very nice email from the president of the Devon Energy Toastmasters Club. I don't know how many of you know that for the last year, I guess, they met in this room and elsewhere, I guess, until this room is available. But at lunch on Tuesdays, the Devon Energy Toastmasters Club would come in here and meet and have their meetings and do their speaking and all of that, and it was a great opportunity for them. And they say that Devon has actually taken over the sponsorship of their club, and they've provided space available now in the Devon Tower, and they're going to start meeting over there again. But they very much appreciate our generosity with using this facility while they were without a place to meet. So just wanted you to know that they are very grateful to us, and this is a good opportunity for us to share our facilities with the public when they have a need. That's all I have.
I neglected to talk about two things. Our second deputy, Cody Compton, lost his father-in-law, and State Representative George Young lost his wife. So,
Did not know.
I just got some message today.
Be in our thoughts. Any new business? there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.